What's one thing that pisses you off about Americans?
What I find frustrating about America is Americans really believing that they are the centre of the universe and that there is nothing other than America. And it's so weird. I had an American friend in South Africa recently, and he tried to pay in dollars. And I said, no, you're in a different country.
That's the sentence. Not Americans are loud. Not Americans are rude. The center of the universe. People who think the world stops at their own border. It's a confident claim to make about 200 million strangers. It's also easy to believe from 4,000 miles away, and much harder to hold while standing next to one of them.
Now that the Americans are gone, I think we should start making fun of them behind their backs. I'll start. Here's one of the dumb things an American has said to me. It was actually one of my best friends. Shout out to her, love her to pieces. This was not her best moment, and I acknowledge that. She asked me, in Canada, do you learn that, like, America's the best country? And I said, what? No.
Before we go anywhere, listen to this one. She starts out sounding like everybody else. She says she feels sorry for Americans. Wait for the reason.
I was so desperate to be an American as a child. I perfected my American accent because all you'd see was these TV shows that had amazing American accents that you just fell in love with. They had Jolly Ranchers and Nerds and Captain Crunch for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I dreamed of that life. And Americans just get to live it. They don't have the gratitude that I truly had as a child, because all I wanted to be was American. I wanted to experience a road trip down the long roads of Texas that took 12 hours. I wanted to experience that Cali summer beach babe vibe. I wanted to be on the surfboards with the Americans who were just opening cans of Sprite and celebrating 4th of July with their friends. That is something that Americans will truly never understand.
Here's the part nobody says out loud. Fake is free. It costs nothing to smile at a stranger. Nothing to say, have a nice day. Nothing to call somebody honey when that's your job. So the smile was never the test. The test is what happens when being kind starts costing something. Money, time, an evening you weren't planning to give away. People went and found out. And it happened in 3 stages. The first one is uncomfortable. The second one settles the argument. And the third is the one nobody talks about, because it doesn't sound like good news at all. Stay with me. Stage 1 doesn't look like kindness. It looks like a stranger who won't leave you alone. Here's a British man, 3 days into a trip to Nashville, trying to ride an elevator in peace.
I should say elevator. When I get in an elevator, oh, what are you doing here? Why are you here? And they just want to chat to you. And it's not even just like those little like awkward conversation areas like in the UK, you just look in another direction. Everywhere, like you walk down the street and someone will be like, oh, hey, where are you from? And being from the UK, that is something that you never ever experience. People want to avoid you at all costs and they don't want to speak to you. Yet being in America, everybody just kind of wants to know what's going on, who you are, why are you here. And it's really nice. I think it's a really nice community. It brings your confidence up. Like, to be around people like that, it makes you feel more confident. And it makes me appreciate America. I think American people are great. So, yeah, I do really like American people. I do love American people. I will give American people shit online. It's funny and it's easy to do. However, American people are way friendlier than people in the UK.
Watch what she does here. A stranger walks up to her on a beach and speaks to her like they've known each other for years. Her first instinct isn't how nice. Her first instinct is to look behind her.
I feel like the American confidence gets a lot of criticism, but it's something that I've really appreciated as a foreigner. We were literally just walking Venice Beach and Joe sneezes and some guy comes up and he's like, oh, bless you. And then as we're walking along the beach, this lady comes up to me and she approaches me in such a like familiar, friendly way that I genuinely thought she was talking to someone else. And she said like, oh my God, I love your shirt. And by the time she'd kind of walked off, I kind of realized, oh shit, she was talking to me. And I turned around and quickly said thank you. But it was just the way she approached me. It was so easy. And it was like she was talking to a friend of hers, which is like why I was so confused.
And then there's the restaurant. In most of Europe, a waiter checks on you twice, when you order and when you pay. Nobody had prepared this man for America.
Finally, endless refills. This nearly moved me to tears. In Britain, if you ask for another Coke, they look at you like you've requested a second mortgage, and it'll cost you an extra £4 every time. But in America, oh, the waiter just appears every 6 minutes like some fizzy drink guardian angel. Oh, they'll keep appearing. Hey, would you like a refill? Absolutely. I had one Sprite in Texas that I'm pretty sure technically never ended.
Vegetables and stuff in that? Or is
Like
it
lettuce
like...
and tomato?
Yeah.
You can get it on there or you can keep it off of there.
Yeah.
However you want to do it, baby.
Yeah, could I get the fried chicken sandwich then? I think there's cheese in it, yeah?
You can add it on there if you want to.
Yes, please do.
Cheese.
Yeah.
And then do you want lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle?
None of that.
None of that?
I'm very fussy.
No, you're fine. I don't eat any of it.
Oh, well, that's good. That makes me feel
Yes,
better.
I do not. Plain everything.
Can I also get crinkle cut fries, please?
You can. Alright. And tartar sauce with the catfish.
Yeah, yes please. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, baby.
She's calling you baby.
I know, that's so
Baby.
nice. Thank God people don't call me that at home, because I'd be loving everyone. I'd be like, I love you.
No, you wouldn't. She only loves me.
That's just so nice.
Yeah, the people
Okay,
here are so
baby.
friendly.
She just sounds like Ella Langley. Come on, baby. Aw, that's so nice.
Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to feel more like at home here or something. You know, I think whenever you
The waitress called her baby. That's the entire event. And watch what it does to two adults who have been in the country for less than a week.
get that at home, so this will be interesting. This will be a first, and I got sweet potato and green beans. Going for a little bit of health today, but not really because it's fried catfish. Amy's literally tearing up because of how nice people are here. We've literally had a few of the people that work here come over and talk to us and just ask us if we're all good. And the table beside us were saying grace before eating their food. Like, we don't see that at home ever. It's so wholesome.
Like they were holding hands and everything, like the five of them were just holding hands, and then your man comes over and was talking away to us, and that lady called me baby. So nice. And then it's raining outside and it just feels so cozy and homely. I don't want to leave.
Yeah, we're definitely feeling really at home here in Alabama. The people are so nice, aren't they? Like, really, really friendly.
I don't want to leave Alabama now.
We definitely feel like we've got to feel that southern hospitality that you always hear about. So nice. Really, really nice.
If you're new here, this is fresh off the plane. Every week, we take one thing the world is sure it knows about America, and we find the people who went and checked. Hit subscribe, because stage 1 was the easy part. Stage 2 is where the argument ends. Here's the rule for everything that follows. Anybody can be warm for free, so from here on, count what it costs. Not what they said, what they gave up. It starts small. A hat in a shop in the middle of nowhere, and a man who won't take the money for it.
I'm starting to feel that freedom. Yeah. I got it in my blood. I can feel it in my veins.
I just tried to buy this hat and he says it's on the house. That's so
Freedom,
kind.
you say. Freedom, you say.
I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Now we're talking. Straight, and then we're gonna crawl right off that little ledge over there.
Stopped in that cookie shop for dessert. We met some really nice people in Mississippi, both in the country cafe where we got the southern food, and also shout out to Misty from the cookie shop who gave us some free on the house drinks with our order.
Very nice.
So we're gonna see what else we find.
My cook actually started making y'all a little dessert, just on the house.
Really?
If you're interested, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's so lovely. There's an infinite amount of loveliness.
A little thing, it's called Doxo Papillas. It's just our pretzel bun that's deep fried, and it has chocolate sauce, caramel sauce.
3 towns, 3 strangers. Nobody asked for any of it, and none of it was staged for a camera. Now the price goes up. This next one isn't a free dessert. This is a man who chases a stranger down to pay for his fuel.
Guys, he's finally coming back. I was telling them all, you went for petrol a year ago.
Guys, I met a real cowboy
Yeah?
called Bruce, and he wanted to pay for my fuel.
Aww.
But I'd already paid for it.
That's good.
Honestly, like the people like we have met on this trip so far, and we're just like a few weeks in, has been like so mind blowing.
Everyone's so nice. You're so nice.
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
Right, let's go.
Let's get back on track, eh?
We almost got a free tank of fuel.
We did. He's like, let me pay for your fuel. And I was like, I've already paid for it. But he's like, I'll do it. I'll do it. Let me pay. I was like, Bruce, you're too kind. Guys, honestly, every single small town that we go through, there's just like an interaction with somebody that is like memorable.
Yeah.
You know?
So good.
He had already paid. There was nothing left to be generous about, and the man insisted anyway. That's not service. Service ends when the transaction does. This started after it ended, and then it stops being about money at all, because the next thing people give away is time and their own front door. A woman traveling alone in Texas. 2 men she's never met. Watch what they do instead of walking past.
May have very different views on many things, but on a purely human level, I'm amazed. They still gave me a wonderful welcome to Texas. They fed me, tried to make me feel safe, even showed me around their amazing RV. Right, so the guys just invited me to come inside their beautiful, giant RV and take a look around. Honestly, this is completely new to me. I had never been inside an RV like this before in my entire life. I've seen them driving around the US. I've seen pictures of them.
And he kept saying, don't worry, you don't need to buy anything. I just want to show you guys.
He looked like an actual cowboy himself.
Yeah, he did.
He was dressed so smartly. He had a cowboy hat on, the boots, everything.
He actually invited us to the rodeo that we went to later on in that day.
Yeah, he's the one that told us about the rodeo, and I think I got the video of him explaining to you that you can go to the rodeo. Oh, you should have seen James's face. I'll try and upload it.
Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic.
We were certainly excited when we found out you and Paige were coming. So
I'm so happy that you welcomed us the way you have, and I'm very grateful. But yeah, everyone's having the most amazing time. I'm just so happy that Stedman and Marley invited us to their home, invited us to their hometown.
Look at the ladder we just climbed. A hat, a drink, a dessert, a tank of fuel, an afternoon, a rodeo, a house. Every step cost the giver more than the step before it, and not one of them was asked for. Now here's the one that ends the argument. 2 Irish travelers pull off a highway in Alabama because a diner looked friendly.
No, you won't.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
What? Can you believe that?
Oh my god.
I feel so bad.
Oh my goodness.
But like the guy that we were speaking to there, I think you could hear him, but he said he covered our food. He wanted to cover our food.
He took care of it, like he didn't let us pay.
I did not expect any of that.
I know, like, we got the free dessert and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's is so nice. He just covered the whole meal and then took our photo and...
I don't even have any words. Like,
no,
I honestly
I know, I kind of
I don't know what to say.
I feel a bit speechless. I feel like maybe, I don't know, like mailing them whenever we get home or something, or...
Oh, you deserve everything, like that. Thank you so much.
From the bottom of our hearts.
Genuinely.
I'm moved, like I just feel like I could start crying.
Especially because this is literally a small town that we pulled over in. We were starting to get a little bit hungry. We didn't expect anything. It's just a little diner we walked into.
And this is stage 3, the one I said nobody talks about. Because it doesn't arrive as gratitude. It arrives as a problem. You came for 3 weeks. You have a flight, a job, a country, a life. And somewhere between the diner and the gas station, the trip quietly stopped being a trip. Listen to how a grown woman says it.
We're about to leave Alabama for the final time, and this is a nice way to finish it off.
Yeah.
Feeling that southern hospitality here in Scottsboro, Alabama.
I don't want to leave. I'm not leaving. Cancel the flight.
All right, God bless. Thank you so much. Thank you for chatting. I don't want to leave.
Honestly, Utah, Bryce Canyon National Park is where I fell in love with Utah.
What was that town that we first stayed in
Moab.
Moab, Utah was a really cool place.
Insane. That's the first place that James fell in love with. Like, really, like, wow, I could live here.
Arizona was just like my first love, you know? And then we went to Utah, and I was like, is it going to keep getting better? Every time we go to a different state, is it?
Cancel the flight. She's joking, and she isn't. And here's the part that turns this from a nice story into something else. When these people go home and say it out loud, it doesn't go well for them.
Media owes America a huge apology because it's nothing like it's being portrayed back home. I've been out here for a few weeks now making videos on my experiences in America, and people are shocked. These are the responses back home. I'm getting hate for saying how good America is because people just don't believe what I'm saying. And I just need to say to everyone, if you don't believe it, you have to come out here and try it for yourself. I'm here for the 4th of July right now. It's incredibly hot today, and everyone is doing everything to help each other, sharing shade, sharing water. And I've just been in the queue to go on the Ferris wheel. And in the queue, everyone was super friendly, excited to talk to each other, where each other are from, where they've traveled from. You genuinely believe that American people is what makes America great. And I've just been having a killer time. So anyone that is hating on my videos and starting threads like this, you need to come and see it for yourself.
I probably will get more hate comments, but I really want to say something. I made a few videos about how much I appreciate America. After I moved here, I experienced something very precious, like freedom, right? But somehow this made so many people mad. They don't like the fact that I like this country. They don't like the fact that I talk good things about this country, which is very confusing to me. If you're from this country, you don't want people to like your country, you want people constantly talk shit about your country, or what? Why is that? I'm from a different culture and I have lived in different countries. Of course, our perspectives are different because our life experiences are different. If you hate this country, go ahead, nobody's stopping you. This country is all about freedom. I just don't understand, why does me liking this country makes you this mad? Can you explain it to me? And some people said, there are a lot more great countries out there, but you don't talk about them. Maybe you're right, maybe there are some great countries out there. I don't talk about them because I have never lived in those countries. I don't know anything about them. If I start talking about how great they are, I'd be a liar. I can only talk about the things I know and the things I have experienced, right?
As a Canadian, I'm sick and tired of having to pretend like I hate the United States of America. Because quite frankly, I love that country and its aura more than anybody can comprehend. If I got a serious job offer tomorrow and the ability to move there, I would take it. Not because I could make more money or because there's cheaper things, because I genuinely love the spirit of America. Yes, it's chaotic. Yes, it's uncertain, but it's a country that embodies the idea of burn the boats. A country whose core identity and ethos has delusion built into it, and where delusion is celebrated instead of talked down upon. You don't think that we can do X, Y, and Z? Screw you. Watch us. I love America. I love their delusions of grandeur. I love their pomp. I love their pageantry. I love the fact that they fly military aircrafts above a stadium with 60,000 people in it during football games. I love the fact that anybody from anywhere can move there and make something of themselves if they're delusional too. And I hate that because I'm a Canadian, I have to pretend like I don't love the United States of America.
So think about what it takes to hold the original opinion. You have to believe that a man in Oklahoma refused money for a hat as a performance, that a cowboy chased a stranger across a gas station for the applause, that a diner owner in a small Alabama town quietly paid for 2 tourists he'll never see again and told nobody. That's a lot of acting for an audience that was already leaving.
And give them a nice tip from us because they wouldn't let us. I really wanted to, but they just wouldn't let us.
We literally were sitting at the table like, yeah, like let's pay, like let's give them a good tip. Because do you know what, even with the tip, like I just feel like it was still priceless. Like you couldn't put a price on the service they give us.
You couldn't put a price on it. She didn't know she was answering the question this whole video was built on, but she was. Fake is free. That was always the point. And everything you just watched cost somebody something. Maybe that's the real story here. Not that Americans are kinder than everybody else. Not that every stranger stops on the highway. Just that a lot of people flew in, certain they already knew the place, and flew out carrying something they can't put down. They don't miss America. They miss who they got to be while they were in it.
As a foreigner living in the United States of America,
I can tell you with an open heart that this flag over here is not only a beacon of hope for me, but it is a beacon of hope for millions of people around the world. And may the Lord God Almighty bless and keep this country as wonderful as it is.
If a stranger ever changed your mind about a place just by being decent to you, tell me about it in the comments. I read every one.